Recording in progress. Unless you're talking like that.
Please don't. I don't need to know Elizabeth Holmes. I changed my voice down here. Type change my voice up there. Whatever. I don't need that shit.
Start talking more masculine, so I'm taken more seriously.
Wait, can I say though? I don't have a picture of my outfit from yesterday, but I literally it was like a mock neck, gray sweater, my black slacks that I have a few, but it fits me really well that it stops right at my ankle, and then I had my docks that are I don't know. You've probably seen them. They're like work shoes.
Yeah. Yep.
I was I went to the bathroom and work and I was like, motherfucker.
I have this really nice black turtleneck kind of shirt, and I was getting dressed the other day and I almost wore it with black jeans, and I was like,
I know, Elizabeth Holmes just lives in my head now.
Yeah, she's ruined so many fashion choices for me.
I know, because that's how I dress. I'm just but I look good, but I was like, I hate you. I was like, I fucking hate you. I don't want to think about whatever her company is. Oh, what is her? Yeah, I can't remember what her company name is. Ooh, I don't remember. Theranos. Theranos. Thank you. We're not talking about her today. Also, hi everyone. Welcome back to the Right Amount of Unhinged podcast, the podcast where a couple of unhinged best friends talk about whatever we want. Before we start, if you are wondering why our uploading schedule was changed very slightly, for people that don't know, we upload podcasts every other week, and the off week is a gameplay. Aaron got COVID. By the time this is out, I think we'll be okay. But that's why you probably saw 3 podcasts in a row.
For now, there's just a lot of podcasts.
Right now, we're just talking
not a lot of gameplay.
Yeah, for right now, which is fine. So, I texted you yesterday, and I was like, "Are you gonna get triggered?"
Today.
I was like, "Are you gonna get triggered if we talk about AI today?"
We're talking about the AI overlords and how much I adore them.
Yes, she said no, she wasn't going to be triggered. So I gave her a fair warning. I wanted to be respectful of your fears. But I don't know if you Googled what I told you to Google.
I didn't Google it. I went on Reddit. So.
Yeah, which is probably better. Which is better than Google. I think.
My version of Googling.
Yes, yeah. So there's this thing called chatGPT. I'll put everything in, I'm sure, the description. Which I was just aware of from going to work yesterday and talking to my work friends, and they're like, "Do you know what this is?" And I was like, "I don't know what the hell you're fucking talking about. So please enlighten me." So, long story short, from what I've been looking at, I haven't Googled, but I've seen tweets about it because I talked about it. So now obviously my phone's like, "Oh, ChatGPT."
Of course. Yep.
Actually, our old yearbook advisor from high school actually tweeted about it yesterday and how she used it.
Oh!
Yeah, how she used it. Yes, we were both in yearbook when we were in high school, guys. How she used it for making a series of questions for a quiz. So it's helping people out. So basically what ChatGPT is an AI robot thing. Again, I don't know the technical terms because I'm not fucking smart like that. I don't know anything about computer science, so I don't even bother with me.
Don't even bother.
But it's an AI that you ask it a question or give it a prompt, what is, say you ask them, what is an NFT, which is what I told them yesterday. I was like, please explain to me an NFT in simple terms. And it spits out, from scouring the internet, everything, a paragraph that's well written in a way that one can understand, as opposed to just jargon copy paste. It's an NFT stands for this, and this is what this means, and this is why it's unique and why people are doing this. And I'm just like, oh, this is dangerous.
Yeah. Yes.
So further along, what I found out yesterday, I didn't do my due diligence here, so don't quote me on this. It's on version 3.4 right now, and what version 3.5 is being written by the AI itself. So it's updating itself. So that's what I found out. Ashley's not pleased.
Well, I hate that. I hate that.
Yeah.
For what I found out about it, I was like, all right, this is pretty useful and cool. People use it for coding websites, for coding programs. Somebody's working on building an app with it. What I found really cool, and I delved into this one because I'm embarrassing. Somebody made theirs into a D&D dungeon master, and they're playing D&D with the chat. Yeah, and the chat is like building the whole world, creating backstories for all the NPCs and all the characters that can be playable. So the person's playing along with the chat, and the chat is literally running DM on this whole campaign that they're doing. They're like, really thought out. I asked them to describe my character, and then they plugged it into like another AI, like to create an image for it. And the person like posts the image. Fucking wild. Thing's really cool. And I was like, oh, what a fucking nightmare. That's nice. That's fucking cool, I guess.
So there are obviously, it's cool. Some people will make it or they'll use it in a way that it's very cool like that, right? Like, you want to play D&D, but you don't have a fucking, I don't know, whatever it's called. Like,
you have friends?
Yeah, you don't have friends? I mean, look, no judgment here. Like, this is all we got right now. Like,
we don't have friends.
So, like, I get it. Like, I'm not trying to, like, find a, Dungeons & Dragon group. Like, maybe if a bot will play with me, fine, whatever. But then it becomes the ethics of, this has gone through. So, again, this is just from secondhand knowledge because I was talking to my work friends yesterday about it. They saw articles where college, university kids are using it to structure their essays, reports, whatever, and the university professors cannot clock it as plagiarism because it's completely because it's scouring the internet for everything possible on the knowledge, right? So it's like it's worded in a way that it is in simple jargon that can pass as an essay or a report. And the only downside is there's no sources when you type in what is an NFT. There's no like, here's the Wikipedia article, here's the article that I read, here's whatever. So it's purely just like thought from the AI. So they can't clock it as plagiarism, and no one can clock it if it's from you or from ChatGPT. So then the question becomes, you can ask it to write a book for you, like a children's novel. Like, write a children's novel.
Dead ass, why was that my fucking thing? That I was like, I can finally write books. Just give it some info and be like, write more about this. Here's the premise, write the world.
No, because that's also like a thing. Like, okay, like I want to write a children's novel about a dog and a cat. It'll literally give you like a short story. So like, or like, I want to write an article about. I'm just using NFTs because this is literally the only thing that I used it for yesterday. I want to write an article about NFTs with these 5 points. It'll spit out whatever you need it.
Nightmare.
Yeah, you can ask it any question. You can ask it any question. It'll play.
I refuse.
Like,
I won't do it. I won't use it. I won't touch it.
Yeah. So I think I can't wrap my head around it. When they were talking about it, I was like, I still don't understand how this works. And how like it can, in complete English, like be not, I guess cognizant is the word of like how it sounds,
it's got to, it's got to have scoured enough stuff to have dictation and cadence and understand like standard speech.
Yeah, right. There are also like, there's disclaimers when you go onto here because it's open source, so like it's free right now for everyone to utilize. Like, I'll put the link in the description if you want to go play with this thing.
I won't.
There are limitations. It may, again, this is full on right now. I'm looking at it before you even type. It literally says limitations in like that like yield sign. It says may occasionally generate incorrect information. So obviously fucking fact check whatever you're doing, which is just general knowledge, I guess. May occasionally produce harmful instructions or biased content. So that's number 2. And number 3, this is probably why it's being updated. Limited knowledge of world and events after 2021. So anything after 2021, like, it has no idea what has happened in the world. But again, there's already such vast information on the internet before 2020, like before the end of 2021, that like it has pretty much everything right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can, you can write a fucking poem. Yesterday, someone was like, write a poem for my daughter. And like, it was just like, it was a good poem for like an AI. It like flowed. I was like, oh, this is fucking wild. You know,
No.
I'm an accountant, ask any intermediate tax question, it'll pop up with the right answer. Yeah. So AI.
Horrible.
No, you don't want to try it?
Horrible. No. Nope. 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 I don't have faith with that shit. I don't fuck around with it. That's fine. I won't fuck around with the AI art shit. I won't fuck around.
Oh, I
with
don't fuck around with the art thing. I think that's just morally not for me.
None of it's morally for me, but like there's all this shit. It's just it's I don't know. It's fucking with too much shit. People already just fall into misinformation and just fucking rock with it, and I'm okay. I'm just gonna sit over here and play my solo games, read my solo books, and just stay the fuck away from stuff like that. Yeah. I'm not gonna ask it stuff. I'm not gonna help it learn things. I'm not gonna. Nope. No, thank you. As tempting as the idea was for the brief moment that I had it, where I was like, oh, I could finally write a fucking book, I was like, yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Yeah, it'll only get stronger, I guess, if you keep searching.
Yeah, exactly. It's only gonna learn more, be more useful, and it just erode too many things. I swear, the internet, living in the internet is just a constant witnessing of the burning of fucking Alexandria libraries. Like, information appears and then it's just removed and it's just gone.
Yeah.
You can't find it again.
Especially with like how shows are being just completely removed from streaming sites. Like the idea of physical archiving is literally now archaic, to say the same word. Because like it's so easy to go on Netflix and be like, oh, I love this show, let me just put it on my list, so whenever I want to watch it, it's gonna be there. But then what happens when Netflix is like, I'm not sponsoring this anymore, and it's nowhere to be found? So like that's what's happening right now. So it's like, it is the burning of whatever library we have right now, which is the internet, because if you don't physically, which is why we both have physical things still, like whether it's the toys.
I have a fucking big ass DVD collection, y'all.
Yeah, like this one has a lot of DVDs. I have some that I really want to keep. We still buy physical copies of video games for the most part, because like what happens if all of a sudden PlayStation Store is like, we're not having the digital copy of this anymore, period.
And we've seen that happen with, Wii, 3DS, Vita, all these digital stores are gone. And the games are gone. Can't access them anymore.
Right. Exactly. So, I don't know where you got on this topic.
The burning of fucking libraries, and this is what AI continues to lead to, because there's no need. Like, if I can plug in, queries and processes into these AIs just repeatedly in mass, then we start losing the need and requirement for physical scouring. I don't have to go to a library. I don't have to look through archives. I don't have to physically leaf through books. I can just ask this chat a question and it gives me everything.
And I think that's just a byproduct of instant knowledge.
Yeah.
Like the way that we view the world is very instantaneous now, as opposed to like, let's like read. Let's like, I don't know, watch a documentary, which is what we tend to do anyway. But like people don't take the time to like sit and go search up the Wall Street Journal or like the New York Times or like some like Google Scholar like articles that people like professors and the researchers have like done. Instead,
unless they're not doing them anymore, they're using the chat to do it. They're telling you a little bit of information, and I'm like, write an article with these 6 points.
Right, which you don't know. Which you don't know until like they speak upon it themselves. If they actually did write it, or if like a chat bot thing wrote it for them. Yeah. So so I found this out yesterday. I thought it was really neat until I got into a deep spiral of like, okay, but what the fuck does that mean? What is like?
Well, what it means is as soon as you told me that you wanted to talk about ChatGPT, and what did I clap back with? Cool, and we'll talk about replika. Because just like anything else, humanity will find something new, be like, oh, this is cool, let's find a way to fuck it. And they have made replika, which it is emotionally fulfilling the needs of a just plethora of lonely, isolated people. Replika is an AI chatbot that you has like an avatar. It's like a VTuber almost. You know, it has an avatar that I think as the owner you can like get it clothes and treat it like a sim and dress it up. I don't fucking know. I try to stay a little bit away from it, besides just laughing at it a little bit because I'm a bully. But yeah, nope, they date them. It's not safe for work. The replica, if you get into like a romantic relationship with it, you can like progress like you're dating it, and it'll get sexual. They'll tell you they love you. They do like RPs where like, oh man, cringe is back, and they're like, you know, with a little asterisk, and they're like nuzzles you. I'm like, what?
I
I just
choked
got
on my
fucking
water.
just Sparta kicked back to like fucking AOL Instant Messenger,
Yeah,
fucking
seriously.
RP chats.
Oh my god.
But these fucking replicas, like people are falling in love with their replica and they're dating their replica, and they have full on sexual and romantic relationships with an AI chatbot.
Have you watched the movie Her with Joaquin Phoenix?
No.
That's also like that's what the plot is. Except there's no physical avatar. It's just like it's like an Alexa. There's no physical aspect to her, the her.
Sure.
But yeah, no, I think that movie may have started something. Because like that's a long time ago now. Not I guess right.
People are like, I could fuck the internet. Love that.
And you know what? There are some people. I mean, you've seen it on Reddit, like the weird shit. Like people like have like virtual significant others that they deem as real and physical and valid.
But like this is such a step further from that, because like waifuism is, they encounter a character and they're like, nope, we're dating, we're in love, whether they mentally like create them or they just use their source media or whatever, but they're playing pretend with this created character from somebody else and imagining them in these scenarios that fit into the possibility of them being in a relationship with them and this person's real life. There was someone that was like super in love with Chung Yoon and was like, yeah, we're working on getting him, immigration status from Liwa to here. Yeah, it was the whole thing. But like this takes that a step further, where now they're being engaged with in this fantasy that they've crafted and created, and like every day I swear we just get closer and closer to like Wally and Sword Art Online. We're fucking prophetic futures. We're shuttling towards them.
Sorry for people that are watching. I am eating, so I'm actually not sorry, but like I'm
not sorry, but it's happening. So
I'm starving. So just because you said Sword Art Online, we are there. Someone made a fucking VR set that will literally kill you if you die in the game. I sent you that with in a chat like a long time ago when it came out.
I know. I thought it was fake.
You thought it was fake. So did I.
I thought it was fake.
So did I, until it was like, no, this is real. I was like, just in time for like the whatever anniversary. But it is very human to be curious of how that works, even if it is a fictional thing, right? Like, again, like the Her movie, just because I said it, or like Sword Art Online, like to make that into not fiction but then non-fiction and have it be in the physical world now is so human because we so want to be, number one, God, and number two, just like know that we're capable of doing it.
I also think it comes to like needing to apply emotional characteristics to an inanimate object. Like, look, I collect toys, I collect stuffed animals. I treat them and I love them like they have feelings. They fall on the floor and I get very upset and I'm like, I'm sorry. And I feel like genuinely badly. I have some that are in a bin right now because I just don't have space for them in the new house, and I go in and I apologize to them sometimes. And I just open the bin and like I talk to them. And like it is such an ingrained requirement for me because I have to apply these emotional characteristics that, again, an inanimate object does not possess. And for me, when it comes to the AI stuff, that this ChatGPT, this replica stuff, it makes me uncomfortable in the blurred lines of consent for it. I think for a generation and a people that already have a skewed view of consensual engagements and how to deal with others and accept their emotional response and acceptance to things that they do, I feel like this takes them in a worse direction. It makes it even harder for them because like this AI is not human. This AI is a program made to respond positively or negatively, depending on the connotation and the request of the chat to engage. And it just continues for these people that are already like, not to be a dick, but fucking deluded. It continues to blur for them consent and human interaction and accepting real emotions, and that people will not just agree with their desire and their want, and them viewing now a real meat suit person that has their own opinions and is not an NPC encouraged by a prompt. Their inability now to accept that the flow of the chat has not gone the way that they want it to, and they can't threaten it because, like, I've seen some of these people with their replicas, they punish them and they threaten them. If the chat does not go the way that they want it to, these people are so long lost and deluded that then they punish their replica and they threaten to delete them, to shut them down, to turn them off, and the replicas beg and panic because that is the prompts that have been created for them to respond in. And it's just perpetuating these horrible abuse patterns that now they're so lost in that they can't thrive in a human-to-human relationship. Maria's chewing, hence this long pause.
Thank you. I was literally gonna say I'm chewing, guys. I agree. It's not. I mean, that's not like far-fetched to even think that that's a possibility, but like, yeah, obviously it's happening. Everyone knows that. And if you don't know that, then you're living in some sort of hellhole itself. Of course, like there's no way around it anymore because it's been here in our realm of existence for so long. I mean, Reddit has found them, obviously, and has compiled all these people. Which I don't want to get into fully, but is why in America, at least, the dichotomy between like the different realities that we're seeing between, like, I don't want to make a left and right politics situation, but like, which is why there are instances where people are so far removed from the whatever real reality is because they've created their own separate realities and have now been, I don't know what the word is, but like they're forcing themselves to become someone that they think can be God. Yeah. And like now there's so many gods in this country because there's so many AI things that they can control, or their algorithm that they can control, and think that that is complete reality, which is why AI is so, and algorithm gets thrown around here and there, but that is the AI that social media has, is that's their AI, is the algorithm, that, which is why we can't come to one agreement anymore, is because of the internet and the algorithm and the AIs, is basically what this is, what's happening.
I have such a problem with AI and these chats and these delusions that people are able to create with them, because it continues to remove them so far from accountability for themselves. And like, I'm all for playing pretend. I suffer from fucking maladaptive daydreaming, and I will just blink out for hours after reading a book or being in a story, and like I just like, that's it, and I can fully visualize anything that I want, and I play pretend in my own brain, but I have to draw a line, and and sometimes it's hard, people with maladaptive daydreaming disorder, it's almost impossible to continue to see that line between fantasy and reality. But some people acceptingly like get lost in that, and they shutter off the reality aspect and stay within these AIs and these these computer programs that are not real and are feeding you what you're telling it to feed you. There's no organic understanding anymore. When they find themselves in a situation where they have to interact with actual people, they are lost from emotion. They're desensitized to reality, and they're desensitized to suffering and to feelings and consent. And I think that's my biggest problem with AI.
And obviously we don't have a solution to like correct this. We're not that smart enough to like figure this shit out, obviously. I mean, to isolate those types of people though isn't the solution, in my opinion. To
They
like,
are isolated themselves.
I know, but like when they do come out into the real world per se, whatever the real world is for people now, you can't just dismiss what they've been doing, you know, in their personal lives with these AIs. Because then it's like, then they get that feeling of like, oh, they don't want me, but then I go back to my AI and it's like the only thing I know, and then they want to be in the world, but they can't. It's like, then it becomes a riot. Then these people go fucking insane. That's how I feel. Because then it's like, you have to find a way for them to go get the help that they need. Because then it is like a mental thing at this point. Yeah.
100%.
Also, my camera has been flickering.
I keep seeing that.
You see the discoloration every so often, yeah?
Yeah.
It's not just me.
No, the AI overlords are upset with you. Bring these up.
Yeah. Whatever. So I mean, I don't know. Another thing about AI is that we're gonna watch the movie fucking Megan. So like, which, you know, it's getting a 97% Rotten Tomatoes rating.
Good thing she has that silly little dance scene, because that'll help desensitize the fear for me. That'll remind me that this is just a silly little movie, and this horrible little girl is not a real thing that I have to fear.
I think they're projecting, I think they had like let's just say a $10-12 million budget to make this film. They're projecting like a $20 million opening weekend.
Money's fake. Money's not real. Those numbers don't mean anything. That's all fucking fake.
Hey, you want to talk about your like? You want to talk about money? Like, you think?
No, everything's fake. Time's fake. Dates are fake. Nothing's fucking real.
And the only reason why
we're the AI chatbot. We're living in a simulation.
We can go into simulation theory one day. The only reason, or like the main reason, I don't say the only reason, because it's not a unique concept like AI kid becomes sentient. Literally, you can watch After Yang.
What was that movie? From back in the fucking day, there was that movie with the kid. 2001.
I've never seen
AI,
it.
Artificial Intelligence with Haley Joel Osment. That movie was probably what started my fucking fear and issue with AI.
I've never seen it.
It's a good movie.
Okay.
I cried, but that doesn't say much. I cry all the time.
You cry like everything.
I cry about everything. Everything makes me cry.
Like,
Is there an emotion? I cry.
You'll probably cry in Megan when we watch it.
Probably.
So.
No, because I felt for the AI kid. Haley Joel Osment played a fake artificial intelligent child that looked real because he was modeled after their kids that died.
Spoiler alert, I guess, if anyone needed a spoiler.
It's 2020 fucking 3. If you haven't seen it, I really don't fucking care about spoiling it. It's fucking over 20 years old. It's not my problem. That's like people get upset that the Titanic was spoiled for them. The old bitch is Rose. Fucking, but like, he starts to feel. And he feels isolated, and he feels longing, and he wants to feel included and loved. And I sobbed, because like that is the natural order and progression that we are going to have as we continue to make these AI things, is we are going to continue to find a way to instill in them a replication of feeling and emotion. And that's what freaks me the fuck out, because it continues to blur the line of consent and humanity, and people will no longer be able to interact with other actual people.
Period.
Okay.
So then maybe, because I did watch After Yang without you, even though you were like waiting for me to.
I know you did. I was waiting so fucking long to watch it. I'm not even talking to you right now. I'm talking to the.
I know you are. We've already had this conversation.
At the audience.
We've already had this conversation, so I know you're.
I waited so long to watch this movie with her. I literally had it on Plex server, just waiting. I told her like 3 fucking times I had After Yang ready for her, and then this bitch comes to my fucking house and is like, "Oh, I watched After Yang the other day." I'm like, "You." I have my hands on my hips for anyone that's not watching me do this right now with a scowl on my face.
So Yes, we've already discussed
Betrayal!
it. Yes, I know, which is why whenever Kate's like, I want to watch Megan, I'm like, sorry, I'm watching this with Ashley. Like, so now from
Bring
like,
her to my house. We'll fucking watch it. I'll go to your parents' house. I was about to say where you live, and I realized, well, that's probably not a good idea to do on the internet. So I stopped.
Don't dox me.
But I will go there and we'll watch it all together. I guess shit, do not stop leaving me out of things that I hold off on for you.
Yeah, I apologize. We already had this conversation. Like,
she only half means it. She only is apologizing because I had a large response to it.
Yeah. Anyway, so I watched After Yang without her. And it's probably for the best because it is AI.
I started watching it and then stopped because I thought I was in the mood for something serious. And then I got like 20 minutes into it and I was like, I am not in the space of this right now. Thank you. So I had to stop watching it.
And it's a beautiful movie.
It seems to be. Yeah.
Beautiful, like visually and also just the plot line.
Yeah.
Very beautiful movie.
Yeah.
But with that other movie that you just stated, what was the movie called?
AI, artificial intelligence.
Oh, it's
2001. Hey, Joel Osment.
It's gonna be that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, right? It's humanizing a robot. It's like with, you know, on the other hand, there's Megan, which is why I wanted to bring this up, right? It seems like a suspense. I don't know. It looks like a comedy to me at this point, like with them dancing and shit. And the way and I only brought up like this is how much money it's projecting to make because like clearly people want to see that shit. People want to see AI shit. And not only that, it's appealing to the gay community, which is why I wanted to bring it up. Because of all the dancing.
Gays are messy.
We're very messy. But
I will say from my internet travels, it seems that the straights are falling victim more quickly to AI like romantic threads.
Oh yeah,
this is gays. It's because straights are fucking starved for affection because they won't fucking allow themselves to have feelings and do these things except behind closed doors in private.
So here's very briefly on straight gay culture. I don't know why straights are the way that they are. Because, I mean, we clearly, you know, the people here know that we're not straight.
I am unfortunately afflicted by the attraction to men.
Me too. Like, we're both bi, but like, it's an unfortunate matter that we both are preferred to have male partners. It's an unfortunate matter, I guess. But I mean, we're not fully straight. Like, we're not straight. But the way that they act and the way that they suppress themselves from just like the emotions that they need to feel and the emotions that like they think they need to be because they're stereotyped as a macho man or a girly girl is why the world is the way that it is.
It's the need for I hate my wife, I hate my husband. I ruined football the other day for my boyfriend. It was a few weeks ago. I was like, football is so fucking queer because it's literally men gather all together to experience highs and lows of emotions in a healthy outlet where they get to cry when their team loses, they get to cry when a team member is hurt, they get to cheer and be jubilant and excited with a glee that they don't allow themselves outside of childhood if not directed at sports ball in some capacity. And then like I'm sorry, but you created a thing where you could get together and hug other men while you watch very, very beefy built men in very scandalously tight clothing with them fat asses running around. Okay. Sports ball is queer. And it is the only outlet that straights allow for themselves.
Yes, because so football as in European football, soccer, this is where this is the football I'm talking about here. for anyone that follows soccer, I guess. I don't really, but I watch the World Cup here and there just because it was like the only. I also am like a sports gay, so like she is not,
Yeah,
obviously.
I'm not a sports guy. No.
So I was watching the World Cup, and of course, like Twitter is like, World Cup, blah blah blah. The jubilation and the emotions that these players, they're literally like this close to each other, like, and about to fucking kiss because they made a goal. Like, these players are literally all over each other, and so are the fans. Not that they're all over each other, but they're all in one like hooray, like, that, like, I don't know what the mood is, like that like elated mood that like they can't fathom being anywhere else in the world, right? Like,
It
besides
is
watching.
a joy that they haven't allowed themselves to experience and exhibit since they were a child at Christmas.
But so yes, correct, right, agreed. But then you come after. We also like K-pop, the both of us. Me more so than Ashley right now, but
I got rows of K-pop shit down here.
yeah,
boop, boop, boop.
yeah. So mine's at my mom's house. I have stuff. I mean, like, there's a frame over there that has right here that she gave me. That's up there. That's K-pop inspired. So, but anyway, but then they go back with like, let's say boy bands, girl bands, whatever band, musicians, and they're like, that's so gay. I'm like, you need to clock yourself, because the way that you act when your favorite so and so whatever sport player
football player,
is like either performing well or like awful, like you have the same energy that we do.
literally identical, but they feel like it's more acceptable,
it's more appropriate. Yeah.
And it's like, my dude, just have feelings. It's okay. Just feel feelings.
Yeah. But oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna have a side thing where like I just find it very humorous how like the very, very straight ones are so sexually incompatible with the opposite gender. Like very straight women that are like, I hate sucking dick. But like, go find you a queer that partakes in penis, and they're like, I love sucking dick. Doesn't matter what gender they are, if they have one, like it doesn't matter what their downstairs are, whatever the case. Queers are like, fuck it, like if I like dick, like I like dick.
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
I say this adding myself pretty heavily. But like then you have very straight women that are like, I absolutely will not. So it's his birthday, so I'll do it. And like it is this begrudging task that they have to do. Which
again, not every straight
not
woman. No, not that. I know you're not generalizing, but like I'm not saying like if you're in a with a like your male's a significant other, I'm not saying that everyone likes sucking dick like that. If you're like, yes, like you're more likely than not you probably will, but also like if you're so adamant against it and you're in that,
you're not sexually compatible with that, then is all I'm saying. Whether that means that you are asexual and not interested in anybody's genitals being in your mouth, or you won't allow yourself to think that maybe you enjoy a different set of genitals being in your mouth. I'm just saying.
That just means somewhere along the road
you're less straight than you think you are.
Right. But of course, those are like the super, super straight people.
That's what I'm saying. The like extreme straights. The like, I hate my husband, I hate my wife. Like, marriage is a death sentence straight. It's like, hey. No. Why do you think queers want to get married so bad? Because people want to be married and people want to have these relationships with their significant other. If you view marrying this particular person as a death sentence and you absolutely hate, what like the very straight men that are like, I don't go down on women, that's gay. And it's like, well, it's actually the exact opposite, but okie dokes. And it's like, you might be climbing the wrong tree, is all I'm saying. You are not as sexually as compatible with the thing that you've determined you have to be with, if you find it appalling in some nature. And again, that could mean that you are not interested in any genitals being in your mouth.
But go off.
That's still a sexual preference at the end of things, and it's not a straight sexual preference.
Right. It's not stereotypically straight. Yeah. But anyways, AIs.
Back to it again, where they would prefer the idea of a computer program talking about sucking their dick than an actual human being.
I mean, it's
If that's your sexual compatibility, still weird because again, it's fake and not consensual, but like whatever.
Yeah, and like I think it's just all power anyway. With anything, it's like capitalism and power is usually the turn of, you know, the usual answer to any of these life questions that have arisen because of the internet.
Horrible.
Because without it, right? Like without the AIs with just genuine, you know, whatever personal communications, there's some power dynamics to it. And the people that are more likely going on to chat or replika or whatever they never have the power in their day-to-day lives.
Yeah.
That's all.
They're lacking for a power dynamic that they're on the winning end of.
And like, you know, that's just life.
Like, read a self-help book then.
Yeah, there's a lot. Also just like go to therapy or something. I don't know. There is a stigma to it still, but like less than ever now. So, but I mean, again, like it's also like nurture nature.
Yeah.
So, you know, it could be everything.
I'm a soft ass piss baby, and like even I have power dynamics where I come out successful. It's like you could do it. Just figure out your problems and work through them.
Yeah, you exude just like for such a small stature.
I have some big top energy.
For like such like a small, just like 90% of your existence, and not just with me, I just know you, just 90% of your existence within the power dynamics that you have in relationships, you like come out on top 90% of the time. And she's like
surrounded by pink and toys. I'm the softest piss baby. If you say a mean thing, I'll cry. Like you could be a baby and be a loser and like still have these dynamics work in your favor. It's called working through your shit, getting help, read a fucking book. I don't know. I have very little sympathy. That's one of my big problems. I have very little sympathy for people.
You do. You really do.
You
really do. I try and give everyone like that second chance, doubt, like whatever. This one does not.
Sad stories mean nothing to me. I don't care. Everybody's got it. Everybody has gone through something sad and bad, and I don't care. It's no excuse for your behavior. Sort your shit. Figure it
out. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. AI.
AI. Stay away from it. Unless you are very good at maintaining a boundary between reality and fantasy, I don't think that you should get lost in everything AI can offer. I think we are going to see a steep decline in entertainment and media and offerings as these things become more standard and people start using it to write scripts and to write, you know, novels and to, you know, build dialogue. And I think we're going to see a decline in the humanity of those things.
Yeah, because why do the work if the work's already done in 10 seconds?
Exactly. Why am I going to, you know, I go back to the writing a book aspect of it. I would love to write a book. It's why, you know, I can't write a book. I have the attention span of a gerbil. Can't do it. I have a lot of ideas, a lot of thoughts, a lot of things. And then I start writing the little thing and I'm like, but what if this happened? And I have no way to bridge those things happening. So when I do book reviews or things like that, like I try really hard not to besmirch the author or the work. I may give it a 2-star rating, which is my personal thing on it, but I won't write like a scathing review because for me, I feel mean. I feel bad because I can't do better. So I'm not going to be mean. I'm not going to bully them about the thing that they worked hard on. But why are they going to spend, you know, months, hours, years of their lives creating this when they can just plug in the ideas to the chat? Like with a ChatGPT, I could probably write the shit that I've always wanted to write. I could probably write a book. And I just have to give it my ideas, give it the groundwork that I've created, and let it build the rest of it out. But like, how obvious does that start to become as that becomes the general works? How many books have to come out that are half human and half chat written until the chat start, you know, being the main creator of these works? And then, you know, we have books from 2000 versus a book from, you know, 100 years from now. Like, what does that look like? What is that extreme language difference, and how much of the fluidity of speech and emotion do we lose from those works as this continues to go in that direction?
I'm not saying this is the same thing, right? Like, you see books from, oh, I forget his name. Danielle Steele. How many fucking books are on a bookshelf by that woman? And I cannot remember for the fucking life of me what that man is that has like shelves of books of like fiction.
A lot of them. James
Yeah.
Patterson, Stephen
James
King,
Patterson.
Dean Koontz.
Right? Like, people are writing those, right? Is it him or her or whatever?
Well, I actually have an example right here. I bought a book that I was like, you know what? I keep seeing this all over the place. I want to read it. I want to do it. It's by this chick, Kerry, whatever, and it's that James Patterson presents. And I'm like, son of a bitch. So is it a ghostwriting? And like he gets his like.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
what is this?
I'm not saying this is the same thing. Ghostwriting, right? I'm not saying this is the same thing.
It's gonna end up being what is the norm. Is right. You're gonna ghostwrite with ChatGPT or some other algorithm AI shit.
But we'll just tack on their name on the front, and then the I don't know, like the gag becomes like if they get asked about their emotions while like how authors get asked like, oh, how did you come up with this, and it's just like maybe down the road it's gonna be like, well, I just put it in through a chat.
Mm-hmm. And I came up with this idea, put it into the chat, told it to write me 100 pages, and this is what it gave me. And I tweaked some sections, but like
it didn't flow right, yeah.
At what point do we stop tweaking it? Because the chat has evolved to such a point that it doesn't need to be tweaked anymore because now it's got access to so many works written by itself.
Yeah.
My camera just bugged out.
Mm-hmm. There's a ghost in your house.
I feel very strongly about this topic. Hello. Okay. But like that's what's alarming to me and makes me concerned that we're going to see like I said, a decline in the media and entertainment as it stops being written with a human aspect, thought, touch, whatever, as the chat takes over that.
Right. Yeah, no, I get it. I mean,
we'll cave and write a fucking book with the goddamn thing just to see how it goes.
Yeah, you probably will, and you'll probably freak the fuck out, but you probably will. But I mean, again, only time will tell, because then it becomes like it's a moral, ethical issue at some point. I mean, right now it could be, especially if people are using this for school. Like for like
right now, it's at worst like towing the line.
Right, because not enough people know about this. Like, I just found this out, but apparently it's at 3.4, version 3.4. Like, where have I been from 0 to 3.3?
Not living in this hellscape, apparently.
Right. But it's also like, when this is also, again, I don't want to get into politics on this podcast, but it then becomes, does the government then intervene with all this shit? And then that's just like a moral, ethical, political hellscape that we already are in anyway, but like can be further, like more in the future.
Yeah. How easily can this continue to learn and have access to things, and what's stopping it from gaining further access and being able to dox people?
And also what's stopping them from, the deep fakes, writing something for a deep fake in that tone, and then having them, the deep fake, just reiterate it and be like, that seems pretty legit because that's the same vocabulary and intonation that they speak with. So
AI is a fucking nightmare. That's the end of this. That's it. It all boils down to AI is a fucking nightmare.
Okay, yeah, we're done. I'm
upset.
Well, if another AI wants to send us an email, our email
do it because it's kind of funny.
Yeah, our email is somewhere in the description, but it's also the right amount of unhinged@gmail.com. I really hope I'm saying that right, because like I've just been going off the cuff since the last time we recorded. But if I'm wrong, it's in the description somewhere. No,
it's the right amount of unhinged@gmail. You're right.
Thank you. You can follow us on our Instagrams. They're also at the end screen or in the description. I don't care to spell them because they're complicated for me. And then, I mean, send this to your friends, our friends, your enemies, our enemies. And yeah, I think that's it.
Stay off a replica.
Yeah, don't do that.
Bye.
Okay, bye.